What if one day you discovered that your car becomes obsolete faster than your smartphone? Who is really paying the price for this frenzy of consumption? An endless arms race of features and upgrades with no finish line in sight is quietly stealing the true value of your beloved car. Hello everyone. Today let's talk about the automobile. For our parents' generation, this was a monumental purchase. It required a lifetime of savings, calling in favors just to get an allocation. And its arrival was an event worthy of setting off firecrackers to announce to the neighborhood. It was a four-wheeled piece of iron treated with more care than a firstborn child. Once upon a time, the car was the quintessential durable good. Its status was second only to real estate, a hard currency of a family's success. The industry itself was as steady and methodical as a master watchmaker. A new car model took a solid 3 to 5 years to develop. A major redesign happened maybe once every 5 years. In between, a minor facelift might involve a few new chrome strips or a different wheel design, and that alone was enough to get car enthusiasts buzzing for months. But, my friends, the times have changed. Walk into a car dealership today, especially one selling new energy vehicles, and it feels less like a showroom and more like a fast fashion wholesale market. The shift is so jarring, it gives you whiplash. One minute you've just signed the papers, the salesman is shaking your hand, tears of gratitude in his eyes, congratulating you in an aria-like tone on becoming a distinguished owner. The next minute, before you've even driven your new car off the lot, your phone buzzes. It's a news alert. A rival brand has just launched a stunning new model. It has a bigger battery, a more dazzling center screen, a faster chip, and here's the kicker, it's 30,000 yuan cheaper, and it comes with a full set of floor mats and free lifetime car washes. In that single moment, the brand new steering wheel in your hands, still smelling of fresh factory plastic, instantly loses its luster. You don't feel like a distinguished owner. You feel like the sucker who just helped the manufacturer clear out last season's inventory. You feel like the last guy to buy a ticket for the Titanic. The sophisticated alpine cedar scent wafting from your smart fragrance system can't mask the overwhelming smell of you, a fresh fool. You're not driving a car, you're piloting a large mobile piece of electronic waste that was obsolete the moment it was born. Why is this happening? Why has the once stately car industry suddenly become more wild and chaotic than the counterfeit phone markets of Shenzhen? In the old era of the combustion engine, the rules were clear. The big three, engine, transmission, and chassis, were the moats that car companies built with time and mountains of cash. Developing a new engine that could rival BMW's or a transmission as smooth as Toyota's took a decade and billions of dollars. The competition was a slow, deliberate duel between master craftsmen. But the age of the electric car has arrived, and it has flipped the entire table. The core of an EV is the electric trio, the battery, the motor, and the electronic controls. And the underlying logic of these components is a world away from mechanical engineering. It's the logic of your phone, of your computer. Battery density improves with material science. Chip processing power follows Moore's law. And that ever-growing center screen, it's essentially just a giant iPad with wheels. This has created a fatal problem, the extreme homogenization of core components. In the gas era, a Mercedes V8 and a Toyota V6 felt like different species. But today, everyone is using batteries from either CATL or BYD. The chips are all from Qualcomm. The car makers have all become brilliant product integrators for the same handful of suppliers. As the CEO of Ford once lamented, Chinese automakers can bring a new vehicle to market in half the time of traditional manufacturers. So, how do you compete? How do you stand out? The answer is simple and brittle: speed. If you can't create a difference in the hardware, you create it with a relentless barrage of software and features. You add a mini fridge? I'll put in a giant TV. You just achieved 800-volt fast charging? I'll roll out LiDAR tomorrow. Your screen is only 12 inches? I'll install an iMac-sized mega screen that stretches across the entire dashboard. The entire industry has descended into a feverish, feature-driven arms race, A car is no longer a car. It's a smart device that requires constant updates and hardware refreshes just to feel new. A minor update every 6 months and a major redesign every year has become the new normal. All automakers, new and old, have been forced onto this insane treadmill of internal competition driven by a deep-seated anxiety of being forgotten. In our age of information overload, to be silent is to be dead. The side effect of this is lethal. First, for the consumer who actually spends the money, it is a straight-up backstabbing. The resale value of a car, a major part of its total cost of ownership, has been annihilated. This isn't buy now, enjoy now. This is buy now, regret immediately, wait a bit, get a discount, don't buy, get it for free. Last year, one BYD owner, just 4 months after buying his car, saw a new model released with a better smart driving system and ventilated seats for 30,000 yuan less. In a fit of brilliant performance art, he put a sticker on his own car that read, "New model arrived quickly to backstab me." This creates a culture of waiting. Consumers, now wiser, think, "That's a nice car, but I'll just wait. Wait for the next version or for the inevitable price cut on this one." Second, for the car companies themselves, this strategy of flooding the market is a chronic poison. Each new model requires a colossal investment. The more models you launch, the more your resources are stretched thin. The result, most new models are cannon fodder. Of the 710 new car models launched in China last year, only 10% managed to sell more than 5,000 units a month. You burn through billions, and at the end of the year, it's the same 1 or 2 old models carrying your entire company. What's happening is a deeper alienation of car culture itself. When a car's value is no longer defined by its mechanical character, durability, or design heritage, but by whether it has a fridge, a TV, and how many LiDAR units it has, it loses its soul. It becomes a cold, electronic product defined by a spec sheet. We no longer discuss handling dynamics or engine notes. We count processor cores and screen resolutions, as if we're comparing phones. Cars are becoming homogenized, soulless solutions on wheels, all running the same hardware with slightly different skins. In this frenzy of speed and anxiety, we see a perfect death spiral. Anxious car makers launch more cars, which floods the market and intensifies competition. To compete, they cut prices and add features on new models, which backstabs old owners and collapses resale values. Smart consumers then decide to wait, which crushes sales and makes the car makers even more anxious, forcing them to launch even more cars. It seems there are no winners. So, what's the future? This chaotic, fast fashion phase is likely just the painful early stage of a massive industry transformation. When the bubble pops, when consumers become wiser, and when capital stops funding flashy PowerPoints, the industry will be forced to return to rationality. The survivors will be those who find the perfect balance between fast and slow. They will need the speed of a tech company to iterate on software and services, but also the reverence of a traditional manufacturer who respects the fundamental laws of making a safe, reliable, and high-quality machine. For us, the consumers, perhaps we too need to adjust our mindset. If you crave the latest technology, you must accept the reality of its rapid depreciation, just as we do with our phones. If you value stability and long-term value, then perhaps it's best to ignore the hype and stick with proven models. Ultimately, this debate is a redefinition of value. In this great disruption, we are all just explorers feeling our way through the dark. The process is chaotic, painful, and often absurd, but the wheels of history roll forward. And for those of us caught in the wave, the feeling of being slammed onto the beach by the next new model is both surreal and painfully real. Your wallet certainly knows the feeling. A poet of our modern age might say, "You buy the car, your heart is filled with pride. Next month's new model has nowhere to hide." With better specs and prices falling fast, the brutal race was never meant to last. Once built for years, a slow and steady friend, now monthly updates signal a model's end. So hold your cash, don't rush to join the fray. lest the front wave washes you away. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.